Hey guys, I hope you love fun and easy recipes because in today's video, I'm going to be testing out 5 of the most popular mug recipes. These are perfect for after school snacks or a late night treat. I'm going to take you along with me step by step through these recipes, and I'm going to let you know whether I think they work or not. I'm Jennifer and welcome to the Family Fudge. Now, it doesn't matter if you are new to cooking or if you're a seasoned pro, mug cooking in the microwave makes it super easy to make just one serving of that favorite comfort food that you're craving. These recipes are great for teens and for older kids to make themselves, but if you do make these, just be sure to use a microwave safe mug. That part is important. Now go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up, hit that red subscribe button, and now let's get on to these recipes. First up, the ultimate comfort food, mac and cheese. And of course, I'm starting with the pasta. Instead of using just regular elbow-shaped pasta, I've decided to use this corkscrew kind because I think it looks more fun, but of course, you can use whatever you have. Now, for this first step, essentially, I'm going to be cooking the pasta. I've added enough water in here to completely cover it, and now I'm popping it in my microwave for about 3.5 minutes or so, or until the noodles are soft. And you guys, depending on how powerful your microwave is, your cooking times may vary. Once the pasta is soft, all you have to do is just drain out all the extra remaining water. And then directly to the mug, I'm adding some milk, some cornstarch, and some shredded cheddar cheese. And really, you could add whatever kind of cheese you prefer. Now, I'm adding this back into the microwave, and according to the recipe, this needs to be in here for 1 more minute. And now you guys, this is what I'm left with. As of right now, this just looks like milky pasta. It doesn't look like mac and cheese at all. I'm not exactly sure what I did wrong, but I'm gonna go ahead and add just a bit more cheese, and I'm going to microwave this for about a minute more, and then we'll see how it goes.
Okay, now it's looking good. Look at that. Now it smells good. I just needed a bit more cheese and a bit more time.
Now overall, this recipe made some super cheesy mac and cheese that I really liked, and so did my kids. If you want to make just 1 serving of mac and cheese, this definitely is the way to go. I give this recipe 5 stars, and I would totally make it again. Just make sure you cook it a little bit longer. That way it'll be nice and creamy. Next up is a mug treat for all of my chocolate lovers out there. And this one is inspired by those famous colorful cosmic brownies. Now, I've actually made mug brownies before, but I've never really been super impressed by their flavor or their texture. So I'm hoping these will be good, and I'm wondering if they're really going to taste like the store-bought cosmic brownies. So as you can see, I already chopped up a few squares of dark chocolate. The recipe I'm using calls for 70% dark chocolate. And I'm going to melt this together with about a tablespoon of butter. After about 30 seconds or so, this is what I'm left with. It's nice and melted, and it's smelling so good. Now to this, I'm adding some sugar, milk, flour, baking powder, and salt. I'm going to give this all a good stir, and then it goes back into the microwave for about 1 minute to 1.5 minutes. And you guys, I really recommend that you check this after about 1 minute because you do not want this to be overcooked. Burnt chocolate is not tasty. Now, this wouldn't be a cosmic brownie without a shiny layer of chocolate frosting on top. So you could use melted chocolate for this, but I just heated up some store-bought chocolate frosting and drizzled it on the top. And then finally, I'm adding on the rainbow sprinkles. And FYI, you guys, if you want to be super authentic with this, you can buy the exact same rainbow chip sprinkles that they use on cosmic brownies on Amazon. But I didn't plan far enough ahead to get the real thing, so I'm just using regular rainbow sprinkles. And now to give this a try. These are super fudgy, just like cosmic brownies are. And the flavor is very similar, but I think this is actually better. It definitely has a deeper chocolate flavor, and it tastes a lot more fresh. And I think this would also be really great served with some vanilla ice cream. Overall, I give this recipe 5 stars and I would definitely make this again. Next up, another recipe I'm thinking my kids will love. I'm making stuffed crust mug pizza. To my mug, I'm adding flour, baking powder, baking soda, and salt. And I'm just going to mix to combine. Next, I'm adding some olive oil, some milk, and once that's mixed all together, it's time to make this a stuffed crust pizza. I'm adding some chopped up string cheese, and I'm also adding a sprinkling of garlic powder for extra flavor. Now on to the next layer. I'm adding a spoonful of marinara sauce. You can use whatever kind is your favorite. Then right on top of that, I'm adding some shredded mozzarella cheese, some mini pepperoni, and then finally a little dried Italian seasoning right on top. Now the recipe I'm following says to put this in the microwave for about 1.5 minutes or until the crust has risen up a bit and the toppings are bubbling. Overall though, you guys, I was really surprised by this. The crust did end up being completely fully cooked. It wasn't doughy inside, and I thought it had a really good but kind of basic flavor. If I made this again, I'd probably add more marinara sauce, more toppings, and more seasoning overall. I give this recipe 3 out of 5 stars. Next up, some cookie dough, and I'm talking about the kind that is totally safe to eat raw since it doesn't contain any egg. Now I'm gonna end up making a double batch of this because I know all of my kids are going to want to try this. So instead of a mug, I'm actually using a microwave safe bowl. To this, I've added my flour and I pop this into the microwave for about 1 minute, just like this. And I'm doing this to get rid of that raw flour taste, and it's also going to kill any bacteria that might be in the flour. At this point, I'm just using my little spatula to break up a few clumps that formed while I was heating this in the microwave. And once that's done, it's time for some brown sugar, some regular sugar, some melted butter, and some salt. And then all you have to do is mix this all together. Now, honestly, you guys, I'm not sure about this recipe at all. It is not looking like the picture. It's super clumpy and dry. Okay, I figured out what the problem is. I actually forgot to add in the milk. That's why this is so dry and clumpy. So yeah, don't be like me. Don't forget the milk in here because once I've added that in here, the texture is perfect. And now finally, it's time to add the chocolate chips. But instead of adding chocolate chips, I really like to add mini M&Ms instead because of course they're chocolatey, but they're also colorful. Now you can go ahead and serve this as is, but if you want to make nice little scoops of cookie dough, you're going to want to have this in the fridge for about 30 minutes to get chilled. Once it's chilled, it's a lot easier to scoop. That brings me to the breakfast burrito mug. Now, this recipe says to use a 9-inch flour tortilla, but nowhere in my store could I find a 9-inch tortilla. They had 8-inch or 10-inch, but nothing in between. So I've decided to go ahead and use an 8-inch tortilla. I'm going to gently press it into my mug like this, leaving an opening for the eggs. For this, I'm actually using 2 eggs, and I'm just going to pop them in like this. And then I'm going to carefully beat these up with a fork. Next, I'm adding in some cheese, followed by some beans. And you could use black beans or pinto beans for this. I decided to go with the pinto beans. In here, I'm also adding some green onion and some salt and pepper. Next, I'm going to pop this in my microwave, and the recipe says to cook it for about 1 minute to 1.5 minutes. But at that point, my eggs were definitely not cooked enough. Altogether, I had to cook this in my microwave for about 3 minutes for those eggs to be completely cooked all the way through. And overall, the filling was tasty. Because it was microwaved for so long, the tortilla itself was pretty inedible. It was really tough and rubbery. Overall, I give this recipe a 2 out of 5 stars. And next time I plan to just cook my burrito filling separate in my mug and then add it to the tortilla afterwards. Now you guys, comment down below which of these recipes you would like to try yourself. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.